You are listening to Wait a Minute with Beth and Jessica.
Episode 54. I'm Jessica Pearson, certified life coach.
And I'm Beth Barnett-Babel, integrative nutrition therapist.
Weight loss programs like Weight Watchers and Noom aim to control what you eat just to alter the number on the scale. But let's pause and ask ourselves, is this scale the only thing that truly matters? The answer is no. Think about it. What about your overall health? What about your lab work results or total body composition? And what about that annoying mean girl voice inside of your head? We cannot overlook these important aspects. These are things that truly make a difference in your life. That's where we come in. Introducing Foundations, our amazing online nutrition program. It's a 21-day course that equips you with all the tools you need to bid farewell to those made-up diet rules and embrace real health and well-being. Join us now and let us show you how to prioritize what really matters. Say goodbye to the rigid and artificial guidelines and say hello to a genuine and sustainable approach to nutrition. Together, we'll pave the way for a healthier and happier you. So what are you waiting for? Come on board and let's embark on this transformative journey together. Go to pathnutrition.com/foundations to start right now.
Right now. We keep our eyes peeled for things in the media or in real life that come from diet culture or that perpetuate diet culture in some way. And these are often the subtle ways it creeps in, which is why we are shining a light on it and sharing it with you.
Yay. I got my algorithm back.
Woo-hoo. Okay.
I keep getting all these crazy ads. So I sent a few to Beth, but the top two I sent to you were some anti-cellulite leggings and then a virtual lap band, which is just a hypnosis program. So let's chat about them.
Yes. And I had gotten the same cellulite leggings ad at the same time, and you sent it to me, and I was like, yes, glorious. We both got the ad, and by the time you had sent it to me, I had already clicked on it and gone through the deep dive to figure out more about these leggings. Which ones did you get? Did you get the blue ones of their two tushies?
No, mine are neon yellow. It's the ones that I texted you. So it's neon yellow. They're actually kind of an ugly green yellow color, to be honest. And then it says, try these compression leggings designed for thick thighs and cellulite if you want to see instant results.
So, yep. And then there's like a thing on mine that was like my before and after comparison, a shortcut to perfect thighs by Carmen Brown. It was published May 11th, 2023.
I tried to find this Carmen Brown lady.
She doesn't exist. And you know what's so fun is like where like the ad shows what's in the top left corner. What does it say?
Women's health.
So it's made to look like it's coming from an article. But I promise you, every time you click on that women's health logo and the sandwich or the hamburger, whatever, and the three dots, whatever people call them, is that only thing it does is take you to the product to purchase them. Jeez. Or the article that is the Fenka website. So the company is Fenka. I'm like, that's
never heard of them.
Weird name. So Fenka has created these tights, these leggings for thick thighs and cellulite, and it goes to Fenka.com. Nothing goes to Women's Health. So
the models do not have thick thighs. I also want to point that out. Like, they're not big girls.
No.
At least not in my photos. In fact, the first photo is somebody who is much smaller than anybody I've seen with thick thighs. So maybe they're just trying to show that, oh, it's working, but I'm like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. The only thing they show, like if you click through and go to the thing, is like you can see this amazing bright yellow color that is like basically the color of my dress. Like those are cool looking. I would wear them based on just like, because I think
no, your dress is a pretty bright yellow. Mine is like I don't know. Maybe we're seeing different yellows.
Yeah, because this is like a green. It almost looks like a highlighter. I would totally wear them.
No.
However, what I think is weird about them is all the little lines everywhere. And because that's where it's supposed to, do the thing for your cellulite. And like there below that is like a picture of somebody's cellulite legs with the black undies. And then next to it is the same leg without cellulite, and then it has like drawings of like how the cellulite changed. And I'm like, I'm 100% positive that that's not how that works on what cellulite, what collagen structure underneath the skin looks like, how they've pictured it here. And then, yeah, so the person that wrote this article said that after wearing them for several months, that she noticed a significant improvement in the stubborn cellulite, and they help smooth out her appearance of cellulite and tighten my inner thighs, all backed by scientific research. Which that's not how cellulite, like, these are essentially compression leggings.
Yeah.
That's all they are. It's like, we've heard of compression socks and, those compression armbands and things like that. That's essentially what these are, is compression leggings, but that is not how you can change fascia bands and how fascia gets all kind of intertwined up in this pattern, which is what creates, the subcutaneous fat to lay on that differently, which is what creates cellulite. Is just the way the fat and the fascia are laying on each other.
Yeah.
So compression, anything, is not going to change how fascia works. So yeah, this is like really bizarro land to me. Very bizarre. Once you go into it, like once you get past this article that this supposed Carmen Brown wrote, which I'm pretty sure she's a fake person, it only then talks about circulation, soreness, and joint support, which is all compression based, and then gives your booty an instant 15-degree lift. Like, how 50, I mean, really, 15-degree? Like, are they out there with their protractor going, oh, it's 12%. You think we could get 3 more degrees with another little movement of like this little band? So ridiculous. And they have like that person squatting, and it's like that look with the Brazilian booty lift look, to boost your squat experience. So somehow these pants with the lift is going to hold your butt up to boost your squat experience, because that's what we've all been missing in our life, is that our squat experience is just not quite right.
I think what frustrates me is that people will believe this. Right. That's like why we're here. We're like, don't believe this. They're just pants. And even the copy. So I have the caption from the original ad, and it said, the fat on the inner thighs has also tightened considerably. Who actually wants tight fat? That's not even how that works, right?
Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't even make sense. I guess.
But people just hear the word tight.
Gap. Yeah,
people just hear the word tight, right? So it's like they're using these key words like tight, toned, smooth, sculpted, and it's like they're just putting all these like.
Well, yeah, if you're wearing compression leggings, you're gonna be tightened in there.
Yeah.
But once you take them off, you're gonna have to do some lymphatic work on your body, because it's been suffocated by these pants. So the reviews were pretty amazing. I did go through and I read.
They're also fake.
More reviews than one should. Some of them definitely looked fake. And then some of them you're like, that is possible that there is a person that actually wrote that. And then I was able to find like the lower star reviews, and they were like, these things you can't breathe in them. They snag or something, the obvious things of like, of course they are not doing anything for cellulite. So, but it was so interesting because the ads themselves are all about cellulite and whatnot. But when you go in, it was really about supporting joints and soreness, which is compression things. So Anyways, it was, of course, mixed messaging, which is what they do,
Did you
keeping
see
the
how much they cost? I don't even think I saw.
I think they were like $79. I
Interesting.
wanna say they were over 50, but under 100 from what I can recall. I'll go look now. I'll go
So while you
Jack
do that, I was going to say I did go to try to find Carmen Brown on Instagram. She actually is a real person. I think this is the same person.
Oh,
Um,
really?
she is a radio DJ.
Oh.
So it says public figure. She's 1/3 of the morning cruise. I get to laugh, cry, and journey along with you weekday mornings on the Joy FM. And then
Oh,
she has some, I don't know if the Joy might be a Christian radio station, is
okay.
also partially what I'm gathering. But her photos do look like the Carmen Brown in the
Oh,
ad. But her
interesting.
profile does not show anything, like she's not necessarily like a fitness instructor or an influencer of any kinds. But
Right.
you know how, I don't know, I feel like popular radio, DJs get roped into doing
Yeah.
ads and things. So this might be her. She got paid to put her name on this, probably. So
Yeah.
yes.
I guess, one of the things is that just, like, irks me is that I guess they swiped that, logo and made it go to their website. So these leggings cost 67.99 to 84.99, and they say they're reversible, but most people were like, not so real, not really. The texture of the leggings with all the swirly swoops, and those swirly swoops are not on your butt, and so it's like regular material. It does look strange. Like, I wonder what they look like in real life. Anyways, ooh, some Kelly Green ones that I would totally wear are $72, and then their core colors are 85. And they have shorts too, and those
Mm.
are $65.
Hmm.
So the pants, so it doesn't matter what length you get. They basically cost the same.
I'm also weary to buy any clothing from any brand I've never heard of, because I'm like, this is made somewhere far away. It's probably cheaply made. Is it even going to come to me? Like, is this just a scam? I just don't know. I'm not buying into
Yeah.
it.
So, anyways, if you need compression leggings, you could potentially buy these.
Or somebody please buy them and report back. Let us know. Go do the homework and tell us how it goes. Because
But the thing is that they are not going to change your fascia to do anything to.
well, the other part about the ad that I thought was funny was like after working out for 3 months. I was like, well, girl, you worked out for 3 months. Like that has nothing to do with the leggings. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
So I don't know. It looks like, some YouTube people have done them. Yeah. I mean, just compression doesn't work on cellulite that way. That's just not how fascia changes. So, yeah.
I saw an image and it was a woman in a bikini and it was a before and after. And then it says in big bold letters, virtual gastric band. And then in smaller, less bold letters says 3-week hypnotherapy program,
Hmm.
which I was like, I don't know. Hypnotherapy is kind of cool.
Yeah. But the thing is like in one photo, she's looking down. She's in like an angle where everybody's body does something kind of interesting because skin moves, fat moves. So it's hard to say if that, because she's wearing the same bathing suit in the before and after. And yeah, it
Yeah, it's
is.
hard to say if it's a reliable before and after photo,
Yeah.
though.
My guess is not so much, just based on the situation. Like, how did she end up? Like, does she just happen to vacation in the same spot every time that she wears this bathing suit? Like, because that's pretty amazing. Because she's clearly out in nature. It's not like a swimming pool sitch.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not going to dog that hypnotherapy couldn't do it. But even so, it would be really challenging if you did some mind work around habitual behaviors around your relationship with food and change them. That still is a pretty stark difference from one weight to the other in 3 weeks. Like, it would be really challenging to change your body composition like that in 3 weeks just from your mind
So I
changing.
went to the website. They have several different courses. They actually, so I think I saw the original ad from them. I think I saw was the menopause management hypnotherapy bundle.
Fascinating. Do tell.
Yeah. And the prices are actually not so bad. So that one is $32 because it's a bundle. So you're getting a few, but just like the stop binge eating hypnotherapy is $17. Has 106 reviews for a total of like there's almost a 5-star average.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm not against. I feel like hypnotherapy is a little bit different because that is addressing the way that you're thinking.
Right, but I'm just saying the timeline
Oh
of
yeah.
for that photo, those 2 photos, 3 weeks, like, that's pretty significant.
Drastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be real tough. That's a tough sell for me on that. So I do feel like some of it is unflattering angle. Also, in the second photo, you don't get to see a picture of her face. You
Yeah.
only are same bathing suit and from chin up. So we don't actually get to see her face in the same way that you can see it of her looking down in the first photo. So I'm like, yeah, it's same bathing suit and same color hair, but is that really the same person? I don't know.
No, but we know that before and after photos sell because people believe them.
They do, but
I'm
there
like,
you can fake them so easily. Did I tell you
yes.
about that one I watched of the girl that was like showing her undies and she was wearing like thongs
No.
and she could make her body look like, like
Oh,
the
you did tell me
you know,
that.
like what when you wear something on your like hips, and
Yeah.
if it cuts in that certain thing, you any size person who's more or less
You can
make.
exaggerate your roles.
Yeah, so she totally did that, and she's like, "All right, now watch." And so then she took these very flexible underwear, might I add, turned around, and then started scooching them way up, way over her hip bone, a la Kardashian style, and then pushed in the fabric into the cracks. I'm like, okay, so you're giving yourself a wedgie. And then she then changed the position of her hip and back, like how she was standing. And so she went from like just standard, we all just kind of pose how we do way, and then made it look very stylized and big booty and all this other stuff just by changing how she stood and the way that she positioned her underwear on
Yeah.
her body. And so it made it look like she had this really big like tush that was well sculpted.
Yeah, it's all about the angles and the lighting.
Yeah. I was like, "Whoa!" And it took, like, no time at all for her to get into this position. She's like, "This
Yes.
is how it's done.
Yes.
Here
So
you
don't believe
go."
everything you see. So the latest thing that I've been seeing on social has been about a supplement that I know you have been using with clients, certain clients, not every client, but some
Yeah.
clients that need it. You've been using it for years and
Yep.
so I knew the name of it, and when I saw people talking about it, they were saying this is the natural Ozempic. And I forwarded it to you right away because I just knew that your mind was I was like,
I was crying on the inside.
I
That's
was
what
like,
happened.
yeah, I was like, her eyeballs can't roll hard enough. Like they're just gonna roll out of your skull down the street
They
when
they
I send
almost
this to
did,
you.
yeah.
So tell us, is Berberine really the new Ozempic or the natural Ozempic?
Yeah, so you sent me that. I had to process it for a minute, and I was like, "Damn it." And then I then saw a reel with this, like, very young, fit guy, probably in California, that posted about berberine being nature's Ozempic. He had heard it and he was, in progress of buying it. He even bought like a really good brand. I was like, oh, well, at least it wasn't like, some sketch brand. And I am glad that berberine is getting its, time in the spotlight. As you mentioned, I have had clients on it for years for blood sugar support, and it can also be used for gut support. But no, the long and short of it is that no, because it's not a GLP-1. So Ozempic and Siglitude and what is the other one? Wegovy? How do you say it?
Wegovy.
Wegovy. Those all are GLP-1 agonists. And so this does not work on GLP-1, but berberine is amazing and cool and helpful. So I'm actually here to tell you all the amazing things about berberine. But
Great.
it's not going to work the same way that GLP-1 does. So let's be clear. This is what GLP-1 is. It is a glucagon, think glucose is gone, like peptide 1. So we have, I know there's GLP 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know if there's more than that. But anyways, so it works specifically on GLP-1. And GLP-1 is a hormone that we do have in our body that stimulates pancreas to increase insulin. It will also slow down glucose and sugar production in the liver, and also does play a role in those mindfulness, in the hunger and fullness cues that we have in the stomach, one of them helping to delay gastric emptying. So when people inject or take one of these pills, and it works on the GLP-1, they will reduce hunger. It does slow down how fast they can digest food, which makes them feel full sooner and longer. And then it will also help to increase insulin that they need to secrete from their pancreas to get the blood sugar down. So berberine, though, is a nitrogen-based compound that is found in plants and more or less is found all over the world. And so like in the US, it's called Oregon grapefruit. In Asia, there is the Indian barberry or Copetus chinesis. I'm really good at pronouncing names, so, we'll function on
Sounded
that.
great to me.
Yeah. So what it seems to be on the literature is that, and they're still learning about it. So this is the cool part. So they've got some general ideas on how it works, but they're finding that there are even more ways that it does work. And so what it seems to be is that berberine works in the mitochondria part of the cell. So reminder that the mitochondria is this little part of our cells, which I call like the battery of our cells. So it is the thing that makes the cells go. And then when it's no longer functioning, that is one of the signals of cell death. So it works on that part, on the AMPK, which is a sensor of the ATP and slash energy in the cell. So when AMPK is elevated, then it's saying that there's not enough energy in the cell and we need some more. So it will signal the cell to make it more responsive to glucose from the blood into the cell and increase the ability to make glucose for energy. And because of the needs for this energy by this thing, then you are upping the amount of glucose that gets pulled into the cell and make energy. And what's different is that about berberine is that it doesn't require insulin. So it is what's called a non-insulin dependent action. So it doesn't need to work on insulin, but the byproduct is that insulin response does get better. Because you're able to use the glucose. So then, insulin's like, oh, okay, all right. So I don't have to work so hard. So it is doing that. And then there are other studies that the way it further supports blood sugar is that it can reduce absorption of certain types of carbohydrate molecules in the intestines. So that was a really interesting study. And then the reason why I've been using it for so long is I read about it in essentially a textbook, a functional medicine textbook, that in the early 2000s that there were studies that were done that compared berberine to metformin in those with type 2 diabetes, and that berberine was more effective dose for dose than metformin. So the dose was 1,500 milligrams a day, but it has to be in divided doses because if you take too much at once, you can have GI upset. So some people get heartburn, some people get the runs. So you got to kind of work your way up, but the dose is 1,500 milligrams a day. And then they then continued to do further studies that supported these benefits of berberine on glucose, triglycerides, cholesterol, and blood pressure. So it's all really amazing stuff on what it can do. One of the other further benefits for berberine over metformin. One, it functions the same, but two, people have more side effects from metformin than they do with berberine.
Well, and isn't metformin something that, like, once you start it, you kind of have to take it forever?
I
That's
think a lot of people, yes, do stay once they get on it, stay on it, because I think one of the things that can happen is that people are relying on that instead of making other changes potentially, or they're struggling, but maybe because of the side effects, their body's not able to actually get low enough to where they could come off of it. So there's a wide variety of reasons of once people go on a medication like a metformin or a statin or what have you, and then they just are on it.
because
So
wasn't metformin, it was becoming more widely prescribed for, I don't want to say obesity, but for other reasons outside of, like,
yeah,
the results
so
of
I
exercise.
had been here I heard about it, I think last year in the longevity arm of functional medicine that it can be used for longevity, but there is some research to show that the side effects are actually not, and I think that it's maybe probably like 25% of the population, but there are some people that it actually has negative side effects on mitochondria function, which is what you need for longevity is to keep your mitochondria going. So that would counteract that aspect of it. And then there are some people where it can actually have impacts on kidney health over the long term. So it has some things that we got to be careful about. So if you're on metformin, just make sure you're getting regular blood work.
What does metformin have to do with thyroid function? Wasn't it originally, like, weren't people taking it for thyroid stuff too?
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. Anything's possible these days. Like why people take certain things and not others for other conditions.
It's
Who
true, yeah.
knows? I guess I could see it because it's working on the endocrine system. So thyroid and blood sugar, insulin is all endocrine based. And so maybe to support one or the other, because you oftentimes some people that have thyroid issues, because it can take so long for it to get diagnosed properly or soon enough, then by that point they are struggling with blood sugar issues. So it could be, part and
Hmm.
parcel. I don't know.
What else does berberine do?
So, a brand new paper just came out in 2023 that berberine can cross the blood-brain barrier and can help inhibit amyloid plaque deposits and the tangles. So it is also now neuroprotective to support cognition and memory. So cool.
I feel like I'm being sold on berberine,
I am selling you.
which
Yeah.
wasn't really like the original context of this conversation, but now I'm like, I'm gonna go to Full Script and get some berberine because this sounds great.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it. So, I've already been down this like rabbit hole. So, in the gut, I've used berberine as well. It can work on the gut to kill yeast and amoebas and certain bacteria. I think it was gram-positive bacteria versus gram-negative bacteria. And so then the theory is if you have that reduction of inflammation in the gut from these overgrowths of these other types of imbalances, then allows the gut to heal and reduce inflammation and can increase short chain fatty acids, which has health benefits for us and can kind of support that anti-diabetic effect of the gut health and insulin resistance.
Amazing.
Some people will caution that you shouldn't stay on berberine for more than 3 months because of the gut health stuff. However, I have yet to have anybody have long-term gut micro imbalances. And then Dr. Roundtree, who is a functional medicine doctor that I just,
Is
love
that
so
his whole
much.
name, Roundtree, or is that his
His
last
last
name?
name is Roundtree.
Okay.
His first name is Robert, Dr. Robert Roundtree.
Okay.
He has a practice out of Boulder, Colorado, and he can make very complicated things sound so amazing and that you really understand what he's saying, even amongst all of the, letters of talking about AMPK and ROS and all these things. And you're just like, well, you can still understand it and know what's happening. Whereas I feel like some people talk in a way that you're like, they're trying to make it sound more complicated than it really is. So, anywho, for the sake of sounding smart. Anyway, so he said he's had patients on it as well for years and has done stool tests to see, and he's not showing an impact on gut flora in a negative way when people are on it long term. The only caution is if you are on high doses of like statins or other pharmaceuticals, you do have to watch out on how much berberine you take, because there are some interactions on the way berberine and some other medications work on the same pathway in the liver. So one of the metabolic pathways to break medications down, they work on the same one. So you have to kind of be careful on certain medications. So you do need to work with a healthcare preferred person that is familiar with these interactions and supportive of medications and supplements. So that is my thing. And yes, so the mitochondria is super, super, super important in health all around. And it's not just aging, but how we produce our energy and all of those sort of things. And so I have started taking berberine as well, because with my aging and perimenopause, I can start to see where I'm struggling. And so I was looking up, well, what is in the mitochondria? So what is it made up of, and what is it used for energy? So I started taking things for mitochondria, and berberine happens to be a part of it. So I've added that with CoQ10, and also glutathione is a major part of mitochondria, and I struggle with glutathione production. I did a gene test, and I have one of the variants. I don't make all of my own glutathione, so I have to really support
good
it.
when I take glutathione. I don't take it every day because it's kind of expensive, but when I do take it, I'm like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Which I want to do a quick full script push here, because if you guys don't know, you can get supplements through us via Full Script, which is an online supplement dispensary. It is not like a pyramid scheme. They sell a ton of different brands. They're all brands that, are third party tested, meaning that you actually get what you pay for. They're really high quality. You don't have to get on a phone call with us. You can just get the link. We'll put it in the show notes, and you create an account, and then you can shop the catalog. And Beth even put a favorites folder in there, so you can always, just shop the favorites and pick the multivitamin and the probiotic that she suggested. But if you do want to talk about berberine or any other,
there is a discount, right? So there is.
Yes,
I'm probably not supposed to say that, but I share my.
Well, yeah, since it's online, we're not hosting inventory, so we don't have to sell it at retail prices. You get the discount. We share the discount with you. And yeah, it's like really easy. The other day, my friend Sheila Nova, calling you out on the podcast, she was like, I just spent $200 at Whole Foods on supplements. I was like, no. Yeah. I was like, I haven't done my job. I can't believe you don't know about this. And she was like, well, she goes, I don't know why I was thinking like I'd have to like go through you or talk to you to order them. I'm like, no, it's just a link. You just create an account and you shop like any other website. So it's really simple, really easy. So we'll share that link.
Yeah. But yeah, I love berberine for clients, and I just started taking it for myself because I don't struggle. So I don't have elevated blood sugar, so I wasn't thinking about that this might be useful for me. But then I was when I was taking this continuing ed class, and it was all about mitochondria function and all the different places that it works, then I was like, oh, this would actually be really beneficial to me, because since I did do that gene test and found out about the glutathione, I also know that I have one of the ApoE4 things, which ApoE4, which can potentially increase your risk for Alzheimer's. Just because I have the gene doesn't mean I'm going to get Alzheimer's. There is so many things that you can do to prevent that. And some people without ApoE4 subtypes do also get Alzheimer's. So it's not to say that just because you don't have it, you won't get it, and vice versa. So anyways, because I have so many different things, I was like, oh no, supporting my mitochondria is really beneficial. So I'm going to do that. So I've added a couple of things to my regimen just to see how it all goes. It's a little complicated because some things are not food based, like you don't take it with food, and some things you do. And so I'm having to learn some new routines, which it's hard. I get it. Getting it all in there, but I'm kind of slowly getting down to a rhythm. So
yeah, there's like the stuff you keep in your bathroom and the stuff you keep in the kitchen.
It all's in one spot.
Oh,
keep everything in one spot, because if not, then it's all downhill. I sure hope we gave you something new to think about today and helped you take one more step on your path to freeing yourself from diet culture, be sure to subscribe to this podcast and follow us on Instagram at path_nutrition. We'd love to see you inside our interactive online course called Foundations. So go to pathnutrition.com/foundations to learn more and sign up today. Bye, everyone.